Welcome to True Projects. In this video, we are going to explain about the project, which is Blockchain in the Electronics Industry for Supply Chain Management, a survey. So before getting into the execution, first let's understand what is the project about. In order to produce any product or a device in the electronic industry, it goes to several interconnected process and stages from the raw material procurement to the final product delivery. So to understand this, think that we are producing a smartphone. So to produce a smartphone, we need raw material. So that raw material, it will be supplied to the manufacturer who will manufacture the product. And after manufacturing, he will distribute it to the distributor. And distributor, he will give it to the retailer who will finally sell the product. So this is called supply chain. And how the data in the supply chain is stored, it is stored in the centralized servers. And that too in separate centralized servers. It means that raw material supplier, he will be having his own server where he will be storing the data related to his supplies. And also manufacturer, he will have his own separate server where he will be storing all the data related to his manufacturers and supplies. In the same way, distributor and also retailer will be having their separate servers. But there are many problems with this separate servers, and they lack transparency and also tracing difficulties, and data can be altered in this way. That means if data is stored in separate servers, there can be chance for the data alteration by the stakeholders are nothing but raw material supplier, manufacturer, distributor, and the retailer. And also, as the data is not transmitted between one stakeholder to the other stakeholder, there is no proper coordination and communication. So this is where we need a proper supply chain management system where we can eradicate all these problems. To mitigate all these issues, in this project, we are proposing a technology called blockchain technology, using which we'll be able to securely store the details of raw material suppliers, manufacturers, distributors, and retailers. And by using this blockchain technology, in this project, we aim to provide transparency in the records of supply chain between stakeholders. And moreover, we want to provide a decentralized approach where nobody can alter the data, and also no one person will be able to manage the data. Now let's understand what is blockchain. So what is this blockchain? Blockchain, it is a decentralized distributed digital ledger technology. It means that whenever we try to store the data in blockchain, in particular node A, it will not only be stored in this node A, but it will be distributed across different nodes. Nodes are nothing but they are computers. So think that we have four different computers: node A, node B, node C, and node D. A is for raw material supplier, B is for manufacturer, C is for retailer, and D is for distributor. So when we try to add the data in node A, it will not only be in this node A, but it will be replicated in B, C, and also D. Similarly, when we add in B, it will also be replicated in A, D, and C. So when we try to add the data in A, it will take the permission of B, C, and also D. So this is why we call blockchain as a decentralized distributed digital ledger technology, because there is no single authority who is controlling the data. So when any person tries to add, it also has to take the permission of different nodes. So when we try to store, that means when raw material supplier, he tries to add the data in A, he will be taking the permission of manufacturer, distributor, and also the retailer. And coming to the part of storage, so the data in the blockchain, it is stored in different blocks where the data, blocks are linked to each other. So here we can observe that the data is stored in three different blocks. So through diagram, we can understand that the data is in three different blocks where all the blocks are linked to each other in chronological order. Chronological order is nothing but according to time wise. And that too, for each block will be having a cryptographical hash code. It is generated using cryptographic techniques. So using this technique, using this hash code, this block will be secured. Similarly, we will be having this hash code for all the blocks which are generated. Here in this blockchain, every block is linked to the previous block using its hash code. So here, the second block is linked to the first block using the first block's hash code. So every block contains previous hash and also its current hash. Here, third block is linked to the second block using its second block's hash, and also it has its own hash. When anybody tries to change the data in any particular block, its hash will be changed where the blocks get break. Chain gets break. So just assume the first block's data is changed. When the first block's data is changed, hash also of the first block will be changed. And this makes the chain break. And by this, fraud can be caught. Moving on, by using this blockchain, all the transactions between the stakeholders, they will be in a trustable format. And there are different types of blockchains, for example, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Stellar, Ripple, etc. But in this project, we are using Ethereum, which will support smart contracts. And these smart contracts, they help in securely storing the supply chain details. And here we have used Ganache and also MetaMask. Ganache is for monitoring the Ethereum blockchain movements and MetaMask for checking the reductions in the ETH price after the every transaction. Up to here, we have implemented according to the base paper. Moving on, to further improve the proposed system, in this project, we have introduced two key extensions. One is super admin module and the other one is product location. So coming to this super admin module here, admin is allowed to manage and add the details of all the stakeholders. And coming to this product location tracking, in this project, we have enabled this feature so that admin and also the customers, they will be able to track all the product details. To implement this project, we need software and hardware requirements. And the software requirements are Python, ideally Node.js, Visual Studio Community version, Ganache, MetaMask, which is Chrome extension, and backend languages which are used are Python, JavaScript, Solidity. And coming to the framework which we have used is Django. And front-end languages used are HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Bootstrap 4. And the hardware requirements are processor of i5 and above, RAM of 8 GB and above, and ROM of 20 GB and above. Now let's execute the project. To execute, we need to open the code folder which contains source code files. So these are the source code files in the code folder of a project. Let's understand each of them. How will they be used in the project? Here in this contracts folder, we have Solidity code. It handles data structures, functionalities, and events with modifiers. Coming to the supply folder, in this we have Python code files that are intended to be dynamically loaded into the project code during runtime. And in this app folder, we have two different folders. One is static and templates. We also have Python code files in that. Coming to static, in static, we have CSS, JavaScript, and Bootstrap files, which are important for the visual interaction of the project. And coming to the templates folder, we will be finding all the HTML templates there. For example, about.html, index.html, and etc. They are important for the web pages of the project. And coming to the Python code files, they will be loaded into the project code. This is the database folder, and this is the manage.py file. This manage.py file, it is a command line utility that comes with the Django. It helps in managing the Django projects for tasks like running the development server, managing migrations, and more. And this is the run.bat file. Instead of executing the project through command line interface, we have created this run.bat file. Now let's execute it. To execute, we need to host the blockchain server. For that, we have to open the Ganache. So open the Ganache. Just wait for 1 minute. We'll get the Ganache. So the blockchain server is hosted. Now get back to the application, code folder. And now double click on this run.bat file. Here we can observe that manage.py file is compiled. And now Django framework will host the application at the local address. So it has hosted the application at the local address, which is the host and the port. Now copy this local link provided by the Flask framework and paste it in any web browser. So I'm copying the link. I prefer Google Chrome, so I'll paste it in that. So open the Chrome. Paste the link here at the end, type index.html and click on enter. So this is the web page of the project, which is displayed in the browser, and this is developed using Django framework. So here in this homepage, we have three different links. One is admin login, stakeholder login, and the consumer traceability. Before logging in as stakeholder, we need to log in as admin and then add the details of the stakeholders. And then stakeholders, they can log in and update the tracing details of the products, and consumers, they can trace the products. Now let's check how many blocks do we have in the Ganache. So open the Ganache. Here I have 4 blocks in my blockchain. Now get back to the application. Now let's check the ETH price that we have. That means ETH balance that we have in my MetaMask. For that, open the MetaMask, which is my Chrome extension. So here I have 99.984 ETH in my MetaMask wallet. Now let's log in as admin. So give the credentials of the admin, which are username and the password. Click on login. Admin has logged in successfully. Here, admin will be able to add the stakeholders. He can view the stakeholders. He can generate orders and also view the tracing details. Let's add the stakeholders. For that, click on add new stakeholders link. And here there are 4 users, who is raw material supplier, manufacturer, distributor, and retailer. First, let's add the details of the raw material supplier. So the raw material supplier would be Kiran. Give the phone number. password. After giving the password, give the contact details. Select user type, click on submit. So here we can observe that raw material suppliers details are added to the blockchain. And here if you see, details are stored in the block number 5. Let's open Ganache and see whether it is added or not. So here we can observe that block number 5 is added. Initially we had 4 blocks, now the new block 5 is added. And for every block we have date and time at when that particular block is created. So if you open block number 5, here we have block hash, transaction hash, and if you click on this transaction hash, we have sender address, to contract address, gas used, gas price, gas limit, and the transaction data. Get back to the application. Now let's check the ETH price. For that, open the MetaMask. So now also I have 9839 ETH in my MetaMask wallet. Here it has reduced little bit. Now let's add the details of the manufacturer. So the manufacturer name would be Kishore. Give the password, give the contact number, select the user type as manufacturer, and now click on submit. So the details of the manufacturer are successfully added to the blockchain and it is stored in the block number 6. If you open Ganache, click on blocks. Here we can see that a new block is created. Get back. Let's add the details of distributor. So the distributor would be Ramesh. Give the password, give the contact number, select the user type, and click on submit. So the distributor details are added to the blockchain and they are stored in the block number 7. And this is the block hash. Now let's add the details of the retailer. So the retailer would be Ram. Give the password, contact number, select the user type as retailer. Now click on submit. So here we can observe that retailer details are also added successfully to the blockchain and they are stored in the block number 8. Now click on view stakeholders so that admin will be able to see all the details of the stakeholders. So these are the users and here are their user types and here are the passwords. Now let's generate order. For that, click on generate order button and here provide the product name. So the product name would be microchip. Select the product description. So the product description would be 100 microchips required for the HP laptop. Now click on choose file to add the image of the product. Select the image, click on open, and now click on generate order. Before that, we need to give the location. So the location would be Amirpet. Now click on generate order. So here we can observe that order is successfully generated and it is stored in the block number 9. And this is the block hash. Now let's trace the details. For that, click on view tracing. Select the product ID, click on view tracing. And here we can observe that we have, admin can observe owner name, product ID, product name, description, updated date, tracing type, location, tracing status, image of the product, and he can view the address in the map. So here we can observe that the product is with the raw material supplier and that too in the location of Amirpet. If we click on this view on map, we will be redirected to the map. So we can observe that this is the location of Amirpet where the raw material is there. Now log out and log in as raw material supplier. So give the username of the raw material supplier. So the raw material supplier is Kiran. Give his password. Select user type as raw material supplier. Now click on log. Here Kiran has logged in successfully, who is the raw material supplier. Now we need to click on update tracing and update the tracing details. So these are all the product details and it is in the location of Amirpet, which is with the raw material supplier. Now we need to click here to update the details. So click on that. So the raw material supplier is supplying to the manufacturer and here we have to add the location. So the location would be Musapet, where the product will be manufactured. And now click on update tracing. Here tracing details are updated. Now log out. Let's log in as admin and check whether the details are updated or not. So give the username and the password. Click on login. Click on view tracing. Select the product ID, click on view tracing. And here we can observe that product details are updated and that too the product is with the manufacturer. If we click on this view map, we can see the location of that particular product. So here we can see that product is in Musapet. Here we can see that label. Now log out and log in as manufacturer to update the tracing details. So the manufacturer is Kishore. Give the password. Select user type as manufacturer. Click on login. So now click on update tracing and click on click here, link in the update new tracing info column. Select the product name, new tracing, his supplying to the distributor. That means his next tracing to the distributor. And here we have to provide the location. So the location is Secunderabad. Click on update tracing. So here we can observe that tracing details are updated. Now log out. Now we will log in as distributor and update the details. So the username would be Ramesh. Give the password. Select the user type as distributor. Now click on login. He has logged in successfully. Update the tracing details. Click on click here. So he will be next tracing to the retailer and the location is Neredmet. And click on update tracing. Here details are updated successfully. Now log out. Now we will log in as admin and see whether the details are properly updated or not. Click on view tracing. Select the product ID, click on view tracing. Here we can observe that they are properly updated. From raw material supplier, it has supplied to the manufacturer, and from there it is supplied to the distributor, and from distributor it is given to the retailer. Let's check the map of the retailer, where the product is. So click on that. So this is the Neredmet location where the product is there. So here we can see that. Now log out and log in as retailer who will finally sell the product. So log in as Ram, who is the retailer. Select the user type as retailer. Now click on login. He has logged in successfully. Let's update the tracing details. Click on click here. Here the product name is Microchip 1 and it is being sold. And the location is Kapra, where it is being sold. Now click on update tracing. Tracing details are updated. Now click on log out. Let's log in as admin and see whether they are updated properly or not. Click on view tracing. Select the ID, click on view tracing. And here we can see that details are properly updated. And here we can see product is sold and that too in the Kapra. Click on view map. So this is the region of Kapra where we can see it in the map. So this is where the product is sold. Now log out. Now we will log in as consumer and see all the updated tracing details of the product. So click on that. Give the product ID. So the product ID is Microchip 1. Click on submit. So here consumer will be able to trace where that particular product is. And even this consumer, if he click on this view map, he will be able to see the location at where that particular product is. And see if we click on this view map here, consumer will be able to see where the product is. So the product is in Kapra. Now let's check how many blocks are created in the blockchain. For that, open Ganache. So here total 13 blocks are created. Let's see how much balance we have in my MetaMask wallet. So open the MetaMask. Here I have 99.9831 ETH in my MetaMask wallet. Now close the application. Conclusion of the project is, by using the blockchain in the supply chain management, all the records of the stakeholders, they were securely stored. So this blockchain, it has improved the transparency, traceability, data integrity, and by using this blockchain, we also overcome the limitations of the centralized systems. And moreover, by introducing the feature of the real-time tracking of the products, trust within the administrators and also the consumers, it has increased. Coming to the real-time applications of the blockchain, this blockchain is being used in the pharmaceutical supply chain management. So MediLedger and Chronicle companies, they are introducing blockchain. They are providing blockchain to the pharmaceutical companies. So nowadays, pharmaceutical companies, they are using supply chain management. They are using blockchain in their supply chain management. And moreover, Walmart and Nestle, they are also using blockchain to track their products in the supply. So the food products are being tracked by the Walmart and Nestle by using the blockchain. So this is all about the project.